Welcome back to SecretSpool's Therapy Thursday. I'm Ellie, and tonight's story is about the quiet, hard-won victories that unfold in the middle of healing. These aren't the loud, celebratory milestones you post online. They're the ones that happen in private, after months of fear, doubt, and slow rebuilding. And sometimes, when those victories finally arrive, they come with a bittersweet ache because the people you love aren't able to celebrate alongside you. Tonight, we're sitting inside that complexity. Not long ago, my life felt like it had collapsed into something much smaller than it used to be. Disabilities, neurodivergence, and long-term overwhelm created a kind of exhaustion that seeped into everything, making work difficult, making school even harder, and making daily functioning feel like walking across shifting ground. I didn't stop trying because I didn't care. I stopped because every attempt felt like hitting a wall I couldn't climb. As my energy stretched thin, I quietly withdrew from school and eventually from work too. I didn't announce it. I didn't sit anyone down and explain what was happening. I just slipped away from routines until one day I realized I wasn't a part of anything anymore. The term "not in education, employment, or training" sounds clinical, but living inside it felt like an invisible fog of shame, fear, and isolation. During that year at home, the days blurred so easily that I couldn't tell one from the next. Without external structure, my mind filled the silence with doubts that I had failed, that I had wasted my potential, that I would never catch up to others my age. I felt like I was disappointing everyone who believed in me, and that heavy thought made even small tasks feel like an uphill climb. Healing rarely begins with confidence. In fact, the moment my life shifted didn't feel like healing at all. It felt like desperation mixed with a tiny spark of hope. One day, with my heart pounding, I clicked on a job posting I thought I had no business applying for. And then, almost immediately after, I enrolled in one community college class, promising myself I could drop it if it became too overwhelming. To my surprise, the job I doubted I could handle said yes. They welcomed me in with more kindness and flexibility than I knew how to process. My coworkers were supportive. My supervisor checked in without judgment. And for the first time, I felt like I wasn't being measured against a standard I could never reach. It felt like stepping into a room with better lighting. Nothing dramatic, just enough to see myself differently. School began shifting too. That one class that terrified me became a gateway. I turned in assignments, received encouraging feedback, and slowly began trusting myself as a student again. One class turned into 2, then 3. And I realized that learning wasn't impossible for me. I had just needed the right pace, the right environment, and the right moment to return. Today, while checking my course dashboard, I discovered something that made my heart stop for a moment. I was passing every single class, not by chance, but because I had worked for it. I stared at the screen, letting the realization sink in that I wasn't behind, I wasn't failing, and I wasn't defined by the year I had spent struggling. I was succeeding, quietly and steadily. Later, when reviewing my finances, another realization surfaced. My small, fun savings, the one account I rarely touched, had finally grown enough to let me buy something meaningful. A piece from a designer I'd admired since childhood. It wasn't an impulsive purchase. It wasn't a reckless decision. It was a celebration, a way of honoring a version of myself who once believed they'd never earn anything worth celebrating. Then came the third milestone. Next month, if I continue saving the way I have been, I'll pass $10,000 in my permanent savings. That number doesn't just represent money, it represents stability, security, and the kind of long-term planning I once thought wasn't in the cards for me. For someone who used to get anxious checking their balance, reaching that point feels like reclaiming a piece of adulthood I thought I'd lost forever. The fourth realization happened during a light conversation at work about upcoming evaluations. A year ago, my stomach would have dropped at the thought, but today, instead of panic, I felt calm, confident even, because deep down, I knew I'd done well. I had shown up. I had contributed meaningfully. I had become someone my supervisors could rely on. For once, I wasn't bracing for criticism. I was preparing to hear something good. And then came the fifth realization, the one that carried the most emotional weight. I have been seizure-free for 3 whole months, 90 days of waking up without dread, 90 days of trusting my body a little more, 90 days of living without that sudden, unpredictable fear looming over everything. It was a milestone I hadn't dared hope for, and yet here it was, quiet and profound. When all 5 realizations finally settled together, school progress, financial growth, a meaningful reward, confidence at work, and physical stability, I felt a surge of pride that almost brought me to tears. It wasn't loud pride. It wasn't boastful. It was the kind of pride that comes from surviving something that once felt impossible and slowly rebuilding yourself from the inside out. But almost instantly, that pride was met with another emotion, a gentle, aching sadness. Because the people I love most, the ones who encouraged me when I couldn't encourage myself, are still struggling. Some are facing deep mental health challenges. Some are overwhelmed financially. Some are simply exhausted in ways that break my heart to witness. Suddenly, sharing my joy didn't feel simple. I didn't want to seem insensitive. I didn't want my progress to highlight their pain. I didn't want to celebrate when they were still searching for small glimmers of hope. It created a complicated knot in my chest. Happiness wrapped tightly around guilt. I've already chosen holiday gifts for them, hoping to bring even a small moment of comfort or brightness into their year. But gifts can't heal everything. What I really want for them is stability, relief, and the deep, quiet belief that things can get better, that the heaviness they're carrying won't last forever. I'm learning that growth is rarely synchronized between people. Sometimes our seasons unfold at different speeds, and that doesn't make anyone's journey less meaningful. My progress doesn't diminish their struggles. Their struggles don't diminish my progress. We are each walking our own timeline with our own challenges and breakthroughs. And yet, because I love them, part of me wishes we were rising together. But love doesn't require matching success stories. It requires compassion, patience, and trust that everyone finds their way in their own time. All I can do is continue rooting for them, quietly, steadily, wholeheartedly. So for now, I'm choosing to honor this moment in my life without shrinking it down. I'm letting myself feel proud, even if the world around me isn't celebrating too. I'm learning that it's okay to carry joy in one hand and empathy in the other. Healing is rarely tidy, but it is still healing. Thank you for spending this Therapy Thursday with me. If tonight's story spoke to you, if you've ever felt torn between celebrating your progress and caring for others who are still struggling, I hope you know your feelings are valid. And I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to SecretSpool, and share this with someone who might need a reminder that their journey matters too. Your voice might be the encouragement they've been waiting for.